What do you think are the keys to happiness? Find out on this next episode of Digest This.
Welcome to Digest This, the show that helps you revolutionize your digestive health. Here are your hosts, Dr. Liz Cruz and Tina Nunziato.
Hello and welcome to Digest This. I'm Dr. Liz Cruz and I've got my beautiful Tina Nunziato sitting right next to me. Hopefully you're watching us on YouTube. And thank you so much for joining us. We know that everybody is so crazy busy with their schedules, and it means so much to us that you take the time to hang out with us. Whether you're a regular listener or one of our new listeners, we love you and we thank you and we appreciate you so much. So thank you. So, what are the keys to happiness?
The lifelong question.
I'm sure
keys to happiness.
Everybody has their keys,
Yeah.
or things that they've thought through life, and it could be, and it can change. It can change. It can change all through your life as things are happening. What is it at this point in my life that I feel is the key to my happiness? Mm-hmm. That can change. It can evolve. So Tina and I thought we'd give you guys some ideas on what are some keys that perhaps you could consider adopting into your life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and actually this came up because we've been going through a lot over the last several months.
Yes.
It's been a lot. We've had some traumatic things happen with our business and our friends, and it's been like in general, our life is already pretty busy and chaotic. And then on top of that, now we're closing the business and, we're dealing with some other things that we don't normally have to deal with. And it's just added a lot of extra things, I feel like, on us. And so I've been looking for ways to help quiet my mind, because again, I tend to, I don't know, for those people out there, my mind is constantly going. Like I'm moving at like 150% most of the time. And now with everything going on, it just feels like more. And I feel like I just can't, like my brain is like, you have to stop, you have to slow down. And so anyway, I was trying to find, like, I've never been really big on meditating. Like, I know it's so important and we talk about it in our online home study program, but I'm not like one to practice it every day. We've just got a lot going on and I'm doing a lot of other things. So meditating is not one thing that I usually make time for, but I wanted to get better at that, just calming my mind for even if it was just 10 minutes a day. And so I was talking to a friend and they had told me about an app called Insight Timer. And it's a really, really cool app. So I wanted to talk about it on the podcast because it's an app where you can join for free. I mean, they have things that you can pay for on there, but you can join for free. And you can go on there and get little meditations, 5 to 10 minute meditations in the morning, midday, at night, whenever. Cool. I mean, you've done a couple of them with me.
Yes, I have.
They're just people who do meditation. They post, their meditations to this app, and plenty options for free to listen to these things. And so every day I've been doing like a 5 to 10 minute meditation. I just pick one and I do it. And one of the ones I did a couple weeks ago was so interesting and so moving to me. I mean, most of the time it's just some deep breathing, and then they talk about, starting your day with positive affirmations and, those types of things. But this guy talked about the key to happiness and how simple it is. And so then one of the things he said, and this I want to focus on at the end of the podcast, is that we need to work hard to be soft. And I didn't understand what he meant until he took me through the exercise. But the first of all, before we get into that, because that was the last thing like that he focused on to be happy, he just said there's key things that there's been studies done, that show the key things to make someone happy, right? Because really, like, what is the definition of happiness, right? And I just find that today in our society, there's not a lot of like happiness happening. And it's just because there's so many pressures coming at us and, I mean, from all directions. I mean, your work life, your friends, your family, now politics. I mean, with everything happening in our political environment right now, it's tough out in our world today.
It is.
And so the first thing that he said, there's just a few things that it takes to be happy. The first one is do no harm. And the things that he said seem very simple, okay? But they're not that easy, okay? So I wanted to talk to you about each of these things and kind of ask you what you feel like they mean to you, that idea of doing no harm, okay? And the first thing I thought of was your medical license.
Yes.
Because, I want you to talk about how one of the things with your medical license that you have to do is say that you're going to do no harm.
Exactly. I mean, that is kind of like the foundation on how we work as providers, as physicians. We took the Hippocratic Oath in medical school. I mean, we had a huge ceremony just for that, like where we invited parents and family. I mean, my parents flew out for that ceremony. So it's a big deal. And part of that oath is do no harm. And so every single day, I have to say, for over 20 years that I've been practicing medicine, every day I think of that. Okay, I think of it because my primary thing with my patients is their safety. It's their safety. And, I'm seeing them. Well, I don't do as much office work as I used to, though recently I have. But the big thing I've been doing over the last several years is doing procedures, doing colonoscopies, doing upper endoscopies. And so do no harm. And I always, for years, have told Tina when I call her, when I'm leaving the surgical center, I don't know if you remember what I always tell you. Everyone did well. And they went home safely.
That's right.
Right?
I always ask you, how's your day? You said everyone did well and went home safely.
It has always been. So that's been in the front of my head, in the front of my mind. It's so ingrained that the first thing is do no harm. Take care of my patients, keep them safe. Make sure they wake up. And then as far as diagnosing them with illnesses or things like that, it's taking care of them and doing my best to make sure I'm treating them, giving them the appropriate treatment, working them up, and helping them to get better. So do no harm is something, it's like one of the pillars that I have lived off of, probably since I started medical school.
Yeah, and I think just in life in general, if you're not a doctor, okay, the idea of doing no harm is no matter what you're doing in your life, making sure whatever it is you're doing is not hurting others.
Right.
Okay, that money isn't coming before hurting others, that decisions that you make about life and your family, it doesn't come before hurting others.
Right.
Okay, and I don't think we think about others. I think a lot of times we're only thinking about ourselves and all the decisions that we're making, or thinking about the bottom line in our companies, and we're not thinking about the idea of what will this do to other people. Okay,
Right.
So I think it's so simple, yet also very deep.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
The next thing was not only to do no harm, but to help others. Okay. And again, this can be as simple as opening the door
Yeah.
for someone. Okay. Or like the other day, I saw a woman at the grocery store. She was an older woman, and I helped her put her groceries because she was struggling. Like silly, simple things. Okay. But what does that mean to you, helping others?
I mean, basically what you just said. I mean, I feel like there are so many opportunities out there every single day for us to help others. Okay, help others, and it doesn't matter where we are. All right, like you just said, opening the door for someone, even a smile. Okay, one thing that I've noticed is that nowadays, as you're walking, outside, if you're walking at places, at a shopping mall or wherever, my instinct is to always look at people and try to get eye contact and smile. I mean, that's just me. I've always done that since I was a kid. I mean, I'll have always just had that need and instinct to want to smile at people or say hi. You know, a lot of people do not even look at you. They don't even look at you. And it could be just you and that person walking down the hallway. They just look straight, or maybe they're looking in their phone. They don't even look up. I think, in my opinion, a simple smile at someone, a simple smile or even a hello could change the day for that person. Because maybe they're having a bad day. Maybe you don't know. You have no idea what's going on. And so I feel like what you just said, that there is always opportunities, simple little things, holding the door, saying hello. Like you just said, you helped this lady. I mean, you just look around you. There are opportunities everywhere.
Yeah, put your head up.
Yeah, put your head up. Get your head out of your phone.
Yes.
You know, look at someone you're passing by. Smile. Say hello. Whatever. Whatever.
Yeah, I've been running in the morning, and every once in a while I'll run into somebody in the neighborhood who's walking their dogs or coming out to get their trash cans or whatever. And I'm always the one to say hello first, and I'm running, you know? So I'm like, morning, you know, and then they look up, oh, good morning. Like, but we're like right next to each other, like what you're saying. Like, it just, people are just so used to not interacting with others anymore. It's really crazy to me.
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know
Well,
if they're
I think
afraid or...
because of your point of everyone is so used to being head down in the phone,
Yeah.
we've gotten very used to kind of just being in that environment of head down in the phone, no one else around. You know, we're losing that connection, that physical connection with people. So something to definitely work on. All right, the third thing that he said for happiness is to be compassionate. Okay, now again, this is very broad. What does that mean to be compassionate? You know, when I think of compassion, I think of being loving and kind in general. Okay. Now we actually had a really good, we went to church this weekend and they were talking about the word compassion, and it just so happened that, you know, I wanted to do this podcast and then she brings up the word compassion, and I really liked her definition of compassion. It was being kind and loving even when it doesn't make sense.
That's deep. And it's true. When she said that in church, I was like, something for me to work on.
Exactly. Something for everyone to work on. Okay, because again, you know, there's a lot of crappy things that are happening in our life right now. Okay, whether, you know, it's I don't know. I could go on with a huge list of crappy things that are happening in our life. Okay, but that idea of being kind and loving, even in a moment that doesn't make sense. So maybe somebody cuts you off, right? Driving, or you're at the grocery store and somebody does something mean to you. And our initial instinct is always to be angry, right? That's just natural, okay? But we all have to work on in that moment, not being angry, right? Yeah. So you want to talk about your I
was going to say what you said is perfect.
No,
there's
nothing. Your bunny rabbit thing.
There was a book that I read several years ago that talked about being compassionate even when it doesn't feel good. Like, you know, what Tina is saying, you know, the pastor was saying, even when it doesn't make sense, or even when maybe that other person doesn't deserve, you know, a moment of compassion. But you know what? Who are we to judge and to speak, right? I mean, we're all human. But in the book, it talked about one way to have compassion is to look at other people where maybe you may not want to have compassion. Look at them like a little bunny rabbit with those big brown eyes, that maybe they're hurting inside and something is going on with them that made them maybe not be nice to you, or maybe do something that was rude, or whatever. Something where you don't feel that need to be compassionate and it doesn't make sense. But when you all of a sudden are looking at this person and they're like looking, and you look and you imagine a little bunny rabbit with the ears just kind of pulled back and big brown eyes with looking sad and maybe a little tear going down, that kind of changes the way you're going to look at that person. You know, look at people like these little bunny rabbits that are hurting, because the honest truth is that you have no idea what that person is going through. We only know what we're going through, okay? But you have no idea what that person is going through. You think, and you can make assumptions that you know, but the honest truth is that you don't.
Yeah. And every once in a while, I'll inadvertently cut someone off because maybe I don't see them. And you always feel bad, but then you're like, man, they must be really mad at me, But it's like, it's an accident,
Yeah,
right?
sure.
Now, are there those people out there that are going around and cutting people off on purpose? Yes. But again, what's going on in their life? Are they in a hurry? What are they in a hurry for?
Maybe they're going to the hospital because their mother is dying. You don't know.
We don't know. We don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, so...
But we always make assumptions, and then it's like, I can't believe that person, da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
Or so stop making assumptions because you don't know what's going on in someone's life.
Right. That's right. All right, and the last thing, my favorite one, was to work hard to be soft. Okay, so we're going to do a little exercise. Now, I know that a lot of you listen to this podcast while you're doing stuff, while you're driving, while you're running. So for this last part of the podcast, you really should be still because I'm going to take Dr. Cruz through an exercise that I want you to consider doing. So maybe wait to do the rest of this podcast when you're in a moment of sitting or laying down when you can be still. But we're going to do a little exercise to just show how tense we all are. Okay?
All right.
All right. So the first thing I want you to do, Dr. Cruz, is I want you to just, gently close your eyes. Okay? And I want you to we're going to take a deep breath in through our nose and then out through our mouth. And the in through the nose is going to be count of 4. Out through the mouth is going to be count of 8. Okay? So we're going to breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out through the mouth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, again, in. 1, 2, 3, 4, out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, now with your eyes closed, I just want you to recognize your breath. Just breathe normally and just focus on your breath just for a couple of breaths. Now from the top of your head, we're going to work down. I want you to feel, pay special attention to your forehead. And I want you just to relax all the muscles and tension in your forehead. Just completely relax and breathe. Now I want you to go to your eyes. Recognize your eyes and how they feel. And I want you just to relax the eye muscles, the eyebrows, the eyelids. Just completely relax. Okay, now your cheeks. Feel your cheeks. Just completely relax the muscles in your cheeks. Just focus on your breathing. Now your lips. Focus on your lips. Completely relax the muscles in your lips, even to the point of letting your mouth open. Not that far. Just completely relaxing everything in your face. Now finally your chin. Feel the chin. Completely relax the chin. I want you to slowly open your eyes. And now I want you to tell me, as you were going through that exercise, what did you notice about your face? What was the most tense part of your face?
Right up here.
Yeah.
I just feel this really tense and kind of like crunched up, wrinkled up.
Okay. How did that feel, that idea of relaxing everything in your face?
It was good. It was very hard because I was like started going through a mental list of what I have to do today.
Oh.
And I had to like push it out immediately.
See, even in that like 2 minutes, right?
Like 3 times I had to push it out and be like, it's okay. It's going to get done. And then it was like, yeah, but you didn't make a list. So yeah, like 3 times I had to like push those thoughts out and come back to focusing.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I noticed too when I was doing the exercise, like I didn't realize how tense even my eyes were. And like my whole face like was just tense. And then you're like, it's just relaxed and you're just like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Like you don't realize how tense the body is. So that idea of working hard to be soft, okay, relaxing things, even if it's taking 10 minutes or 5 minutes out of your day to just recognize, right, breathe, release the muscles, release the tension, okay, can be so beneficial to our health, our mind, you know, giving our mind a minute to rest, right?
Yes.
We really have to focus on, again, because I think it's like we process like hundreds of thousands of thoughts a day.
Oh, I just read an article. 60 to 70,000 thoughts a day, many of those of which are repetitive.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. So just for your own mental health, giving your mind a break, okay, for like 5 minutes a day, just to kind of do a reset. But yeah, that idea of working hard to be soft.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
I love
hopefully that'll help bring happiness into your life. The do no harm, help others, be compassionate, work hard to be soft.
I love it. Awesome. Yes. Thank you so much. I'm really relaxed now. Thank you so much for joining us. And please connect with us. If you haven't connected, connect with us. You can find us on our website, www.drlizcruz.com. And there's a magenta colored button on the homepage. You can schedule a free 30-minute wellness consult. If you have any ideas, any podcast ideas, topics that you would like us to talk about, email us and let us know. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to hear your ideas. If you haven't rated us, please rate us and please give us a 5. It'll help other people just like you to find us. And lastly, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe so that you never miss an episode. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will catch you on the next podcast.
Thank you for joining Dr. Liz Cruz and Tina Nunziato. To learn more about their revolutionary products and services, go online to www.drlizcruz.com.